Let's assume now you are working on an e-commerce project and you have a checkout page. And when the user checks out or buy a sale or buy a product from your e-commerce platform, you want to perform certain actions on the purchase. For an instance, you want to send the user an email which is containing the confirmation email of the sale, or you want to send the request to your inventory that, like for instance, like the product, this product has been sold out, and update the available inventory. Now in that case, we work with events and listeners. So this can be done without event and listeners, but like Laravel, in Laravel we are playing, we are obviously working in Laravel, and we have to make our method or controller as minimum code as possible. So what are events and listeners? I have already explained, like when you want to perform a certain action. So for instance, you want to send an email. So there you create an event, like if the purchase event is hit or the purchase event is created, then you trigger the listener to that, and then that listener will listen to that event and will trigger the email. So let's see how we can create events and listeners in our Laravel application. So as of now, I have created a simple web page which basically has two endpoints, only actually one endpoint, which is checkout and checkout via post. I have created a model here, and I have created this HTML page as well, and then the checkout controller. Obviously, I have also created a sales table as well. So what I want is basically when the user submits this form, I want to send a trigger an event, and then that event will listen to that event. So for just as of now, let's create our first event. So you will see like this directory does not exist in our application folder out of the box. So we do not have any events here. So as soon as I will create the event, so let's say PHP artisan make event and purchase, or let's say sale created. As soon as I create that, you will notice that the new folder will be created inside the applications, and which is called the events. Now if I load the event, I see something which is called a class, and that class basically has two functions. The first function is construct, and the second is basically broadcast on. So we are not working on broadcasting yet, so let's remove this code for now. We will cover the broadcast in our upcoming series. So this is the sale event created. Now what I will do is basically when the request will be hit to this URL endpoint, I will create a sale in the database, and then I will dispatch this event. Now this event will receive obviously a value or an object or a model inside the constructor, and then this constructor will automatically pass those values to our listeners. So for an instance, as of now, let's create a sale. So all I will do is basically sale create, and within that sale create I will pass the first name, last name, column names. So this will come from request, input, first name, which is basically we have defined a form there. So we have last name, then we have email, address, and finally we have zip code. So let's update the values in the input as well. Now let's record this sale in a variable and store it inside a variable. Now inside the form here we have to define the names for the form. So first of all, the endpoint, so action would be route, and let's give this a name. So the name would be checkout, or maybe process checkout. So this will be the name, and the method would be post obviously, and we also need to add the CSRF token here as well. Now we do not have any name specified here, so let's specify the name. So the name would be first name. Now first of all, let's check if we are getting the sale here. So I will just simply dump and die the sale. So if the sale is created successfully, then we will move forward. So I will fake fill the data. So we have name, email, address and zip code. So if I hit checkout, we are at the wrong page. I think so. We have store and create. So this is E is missing. So now if I reload the page, now the record has been saved successfully in the database and we can see it here. Now what I want is basically, now I want that when this is triggered, when this action is performed, I want to dispatch the event. So all I can do is basically I can use sale created event and then dispatch. Now this dispatch will basically accept a sale. So I will pass the sale to this one and this will automatically come to this sale here. Alright, now I will receive the sale. Let's create a public object of sale and then assign this constructor parameter sale to $sale. Now so far the event will trigger but nothing will happen because we are just only passing the value to the constructor. Now let's create a listener. So similar to event, PHP artisan make listener send email upon sale create, and this will listen to the model which this will listen to the event which is basically sale created, like so. And let's open this sale send upon listener. So obviously this directory does not exist, but once you create that, only this will exist at that time. So here we have constructor method and the handle method. So we do not need the constructor because we are obviously passing the value, and this value will automatically be available to this event here. So now all I want to do is basically, just for now, I want to log the information into the Laravel log file. So I will just only show the dispatch event here. Sorry, the event dispatched event value into the Laravel log file. Now what I will do is basically I will now trigger the form, and let's check for the storages, logs and Laravel log. So before that I will clear everything. Now if I reload the page, maybe just submit the form one more time and hit checkout. Now you can see the form has been submitted and we are not receiving anything in our log file. The reason is that because the event is dispatched, but Laravel does not know out of the box like what should I have to do here. So all we need to do is basically we need to register the event in the event service provider. Here you can see we have an event service provider, the one given listeners array. So this basically this is already using the registered here. So all we need to do is basically we need to register our own. So I will type in the event. So event will be sale created class, and then this should listen to send email upon sale created class, like so. Now if I now go back, reload the page, submit the form and hit continue, now we see we are getting an error. The reason is that because we are now getting an object which cannot be converted into string. Alright, so the problem was really quite simple. The reason is that because we have an object which has sales, and now we are passing this to an event. Now the event will catch the sales and then the first name. Now if I just copy this line of code and paste it here, Now if I reload the page one more time, I should see my log created. So here you can see we have a log created of an event. So this is basically the object that we are receiving. So let me just clear the log one more time and reload the page, and now you can see we have an object appeared here in our log file. So this is how basically the observers and listeners work. So all you need to do is basically you need to first create an observer. This is how the events and listener works. So this pattern is basically called observer pattern. So what we are doing is basically when an endpoint is hit, we are dispatching an event which is basically triggering the listener, which is actually listening to the listener. So what we did is basically inside the store method, we created a sale created and dispatched this event and provided this sale, and then this event is accepting this one, the object or the model here, and we pass this public object model to this variable, and then this is automatically available to the listener because we have linked the method of the listener inside the event service provider just here. Now this will get the event and this will log the value into the Laravel log file. Obviously you can send the emails from here. Right now we do not have any functionality available for the emails, and we have not yet worked on the email, so that's part I am not going to touch that. So all I wanted to show you is like how you work around with Laravel events and listeners. Now that's not only about this one, there is few more further things which I will discuss in our upcoming videos. So that's about it, and I will see you in the next one.